Hey guys, before we dive into today's story, smash that subscribe button and join our community of story lovers. Thank you. On our fifth wedding anniversary, my husband confessed that his assistant was 7 months pregnant. It's not my fault you can't have kids, he said. That night, I quietly packed my belongings. The next morning, when he saw the signed divorce papers on the table, he lost his composure. Hello, I'm Audrey Robinson. For 5 years, my husband, Zane, and I had yearned for a child. My mind reeled, trying to process his words. It felt as if the world had collapsed beneath me, leaving me suspended in a hollow, aching void. Zane's eyes glistened with tears, his voice trembling as he begged, Audrey, the baby is already 7 months along. Please let her keep it. He hesitated, then added softly, I'll leave with nothing. Just don't take this child from her. I nodded, my thoughts too tangled to respond clearly. Fine, let Maya have the baby. After all, this was the child Zane had longed for, the one he'd always wanted. It wasn't my place to interfere. In our 5 years of marriage, we'd never been blessed with a child. Initially, I thought some things couldn't be forced. If it was meant to be, it would happen in time. Zane used to believe this too. He'd comfort me whenever I felt disheartened, saying, Audrey, don't stress. Good things come with patience. Our child is just waiting for the right moment to arrive. In those moments, I trusted him completely. He loved children deeply, and his empathy for my pain was something I treasured. But over the last 2 years, as pressure from my in-laws grew, Zane's demeanor changed. I noticed subtle remarks about my inability to conceive, comments that seemed harmless at first but grew sharper over time. Then, without discussing it with me, Zane booked an appointment with a top fertility specialist in Oceanside City. He wanted me to get tested to see if something was wrong with me. I was stunned when he mentioned it. Anger flared within me, and for the first time in our marriage, I snapped. Zane, if anyone should get tested, it's you first. It's simpler for men than women. My voice quivered, but I stood my ground. If your results are clear, then I'll consider it. That's the fair way, and it's less painful for both of us. Zane's face darkened, his eyes narrowing with resentment. His voice grew loud. How could I possibly be the issue? It's been 5 years, Audrey. Aren't you thinking about our future? All I'm asking is for you to get checked. If there's a problem, we can explore other options to have a child. Don't you want a baby that's ours, born from our love? I stood frozen, my heart racing. His words stung like a slap. He turned it around, making me feel like I was the one obstructing our future, as if I wasn't trying hard enough. For a moment, I didn't recognize the man before me. The kind, reasonable, loving Zane I knew was gone, replaced by someone cold, manipulative, and unexpectedly cruel. Taking a deep breath, I steadied myself and said firmly, If you're willing to get tested, I will too, but I won't accept being blamed alone. Zane's expression softened, his shoulders slumping as if my words had deflated him. The warmth in his eyes was gone, replaced by a chilling distance. From that moment, Zane's behavior shifted. He started taking frequent business trips, each one longer than the last. When he was home, he was distant, his mind elsewhere. Even when I shared stories, he barely responded, offering only vague replies. When I asked about his work, he brushed me off with a forced smile. We were no longer partners, just two people tied by marriage, drifting apart until mutual respect felt like a distant memory. I convinced myself it was temporary, a phase caused by work stress. I told myself it would pass. But that was before the day Zane returned from another trip, and I noticed something that stopped my heart. His wedding ring was missing, the ring I'd designed myself. From the initial sketch to the final piece, I'd spent countless nights perfecting every detail. Each curve, each stone, every element was crafted with care, as if it held the foundation of our future. In my professional life, I was known for my precision and skill. But designing my own wedding ring made me feel like an anxious novice. What if I got it wrong? What if it wasn't perfect? Zane had been there through it all, sitting beside me night after night, offering quiet support. Though he knew little about jewelry, he listened to every explanation. Why I chose this gem, this setting, the meaning behind each detail. He understood the effort, the love, the hope I poured into it. Most importantly, he understood what it symbolized, our shared dreams. Swallowing the pain rising in my chest, I forced a casual tone and asked, Where's your ring? Zane glanced at his bare finger, as if noticing it for the first time. His face stayed calm, unbothered. After a brief pause, he laughed lightly. Oh, I took it off while swimming and forgot to put it back on. I stared at him, his casual words hitting me like a blow. The emptiness in my chest grew, spreading like a cold tide. I could no longer pretend this was a phase. I could no longer believe he'd simply forgotten. Zane was meticulous, always noticing the small things. If he could forget something as meaningful as his wedding ring, it meant he no longer cared about what it represented. A wedding ring wasn't just a detail, it was a vow, a promise. And now, that promise felt fragile, almost non-existent. I swallowed the lump in my throat, knowing I had to confront him. I needed to understand why he was treating our marriage like an obligation rather than a commitment. What had changed? What had gone wrong? But before I could find the courage to speak, everything shifted that night. The night I'd planned to share my excitement about my diamond ring design becoming our company's top seller of the season. Zane spoke first. "Audrey," he said, his voice heavy, emotionless. "I need to tell you something." My heart skipped, my breath catching. His next words cut through the air like a knife. "Maya, my assistant, is pregnant. 7 months along." 7 months. My mind raced, calculating. That was right after our argument about children, when things started to change, when Zane began pulling away. The signs had been there, but I hadn't wanted to see them. His apology came, weak and empty. "Audrey, I'm sorry. I was drunk. It was a mistake, just one time. I swear I haven't been alone with her since." His voice sounded distant, like it was coming from underwater. The words didn't reach me, didn't ease the pain. My hands trembled as I reached for my glass, only to let it slip and shatter on the floor. The broken pieces mirrored the fracture in my heart. As the shards scattered, my breath grew shallow. My throat tightened, my lungs constricting as if someone were choking me. The weight of his words pressed down like a suffocating fog. 7 months pregnant meant the baby was due in just 2 or 3 months. Zane had known for months, letting the pregnancy continue without considering how it would shatter me. The betrayal stung deeper, knowing he'd chosen to let this happen. "Maya tried to end the pregnancy last month," Zane said, breaking the silence. "We both wanted to fix our mistake, but it didn't work. Her health has been fragile since." His voice was earnest, his eyes pleading for understanding, as if his failed attempt to fix it could absolve him. Did he really think I'd accept another woman's child into our marriage? Did he believe I'd forgive him for a failed abortion attempt? It was a pathetic excuse, a way to paint himself as remorseful while the truth was clear. The baby was too far along to be undone. The flood of information overwhelmed me, but I forced myself to stay composed. I wouldn't let him see my turmoil. "So, Zane, what's your plan?" I asked, my voice steady, hiding the storm inside. He relaxed slightly, as if my calm tone meant I was softening. After a moment, he grabbed my hand, his grip eager, and said, "Once she gives birth, we can raise the child as ours. We'll pay her off and send her far from Oceanside City. This way, we won't suffer anymore. Doesn't that sound good?" His smile was hopeful, as if he were offering a gift. My nails dug into my palms, the pain grounding me as I fought the urge to laugh at the absurdity. Despite my efforts, my eyes burned with unshed tears. "So, Zane, you knew how much I struggled with infertility, how it broke me every month. You accused me of being selfish, but it wasn't because I didn't want a child, I couldn't. And yet you betrayed me, bringing another woman's child into our marriage. How pathetic." "Zane, how did you become this person?" Or had I never truly known him? We'd been together for 8 years, since university. He was the student council president, I led the etiquette department. We were the perfect couple, envied by friends. He'd been shy but grew into a passionate, devoted partner. Our friends called us soulmates. Even my hard-to-please father admired him. Everyone said we were the ideal couple, and I believed it. I thought Zane was my forever. But now, he stood before me, expecting me to accept a child born of his betrayal, claiming it was for my sake. "Zane, when you wear a mask too long, it fuses to your skin. Seeing you like this is disgusting." I couldn't forgive him. If he'd convinced Maya to carry his child, there must have been promises, perhaps whispers of divorcing me. Now he wanted us to raise the baby, as if that would erase my resentment. He thought he could control everything. "Make sure you compensate Maya properly," I said softly, my voice calm but laced with something darker. Zane froze, then relaxed, misreading my composure. He stepped closer, wrapping me in a familiar embrace that now felt cold. "Audrey, don't overthink this. The baby is ours. Thank you for supporting me." I nodded, my voice too agreeable. But inside, I was plotting. A few days later, I arranged a private medical exam. I needed answers, and I didn't want Zane's interference. A week later, the results arrived. I was perfectly fertile. Relief washed over me, followed by a chilling realization. If I was fertile, there was a strong chance Maya's baby wasn't Zane's. 5 years of marriage, and we'd never conceived, yet Maya had on her first try with Zane, or so he claimed. The irony was bitter. I recalled Zane's confidence when I'd asked him to get tested, his insistence that he couldn't be the problem. It felt like he was hiding something. If Zane wanted a child so badly that he'd betray our marriage, I'd let him have his wish, and ensure he faced the consequences. When Maya met me at a cafe, I was surrounded by post-nuptial property agreement papers, deliberately left visible. She noticed them immediately, her face tightening. "Zane gave you all the properties?" she asked, her voice sharp with anger. "Just compensation," I replied coolly. "Why are you here, Maya?" She ran her fingers over her pregnant belly, her gaze probing. When I remained unfazed, her confidence wavered. "I came to apologize," she said softly, her hand still on her belly, almost provocative. I sipped my coffee calmly. "Zane told me, focus on your health. If it's a Robinson child, I'm sure Zane's parents will welcome it." I emphasized Robinson child, watching her reaction. She stiffened, her knuckles whitening around her cup but quickly masked it. "Of course it's Zane's," she said firmly, though a tremor betrayed her. I nodded, but I knew the truth. Maya believed the child was Zane's, but his reliability was questionable. Later, my friend Elise, who worked at company headquarters, shared what she'd uncovered. 8 months ago, Maya had a boyfriend who often picked her up from work. They broke up, and soon after, Maya resigned, citing personal reasons. Rumors spread that she was pregnant, and everyone assumed it was Zane's. Elise hesitated before asking, "Audrey, why are you digging into this?" She already suspected the truth. A wife investigating her husband's pregnant former assistant wasn't hard to figure out. Seeing my expression, she sighed. "If you need anything, I'm here." Her sincerity broke through my numbness. "Thank you, Elise," I said softly. "Can you find out more about Maya's ex-boyfriend?" She nodded, knowing her connections would make it easy. That morning, after a product development meeting, I felt unwell and left work early. As I approached my apartment, I heard raised voices through the door, Zane and Maya arguing. "You put all the properties in Audrey's name." Maya's voice was shrill. "What's left for me after I marry you?" Zane's tone was frustrated. "It's just houses, Maya. I have other assets." A loud crash followed, porcelain shattering. Maya laughed bitterly. "You think I'm an idiot? I've suffered through this pregnancy and I get nothing while she gets everything." I smirked faintly. My plan had worked. Maya had seen the notarized documents and taken the bait. She was furious about the property transfer, just as I'd intended.